Silver is much more important than we are led on to believe, and it's massively needed in things like military, which seems to be the people pulling the strings. So unfortunately, these people, in my estimation, of course, there's no, I mean, in my opinion, there's enough proof to say it, but to profit using suffering, human suffering to that degree, and the threat of it is disgusting, but it is what it is. And
Ever wondered why silver, one of the smallest markets, is under such intense pressure? Andy Schectman reveals why 8 of the world's largest banks are holding record short positions in it. Silver isn't just an industrial metal, it's critical for high-tech military equipment, and it's being manipulated to keep costs low for those in power. But why? Join Andy Schectman as we uncover the hidden battle over silver, the manipulation behind it, and how it could impact the global economy and your future. Watch the full video to learn more.
There are people that are confirming everything that I'm saying. Look, we have a 265 million ounce shortfall in silver, 1.2 billion ounces over the last 6 years, and it all omits military, yet there is silver used in all of these military applications. And it's ironic that it's omitted. And maybe that's the reason, if you realize, when you realize that Biden's disappeared for the last month, who's been running the country? The people pulling the strings behind the throne of the White House is probably the military industrial complex, and that they fund or are part of or playing both sides of. I mean, you need silver to make high-tech weaponry. Is that why you have 8 banks who hold the largest short position in the history of COMEX of any commodity traded? It's in silver, this tiny little market of silver. Why are 8 commercial banks that short? Why are they trading 3.5 times global annual mine supply every day in London? These Western banks. Why? Why are they, and it's all on the short side. Why are they stepping on it? Why is silver so important? And ask yourself and work backwards from there. And that's the important thing. People just look at the price and don't look at the why. The why is, why the hell would you do it in silver? Why not do it in a bigger market? You can control it, but if, it's just too conspicuous to not be noticed, but yet it doesn't get enough attention, except the Wall Street Journal comes out. If silver is such an inconsequential small market, why do they come out and write a report which doesn't really give the facts and saying, it's not such a big deal, this short position and this deficit, because there's enough silver in the vaults in the LBMA and the COMEX to take care of it for an extended period of time. But they don't mention the fact that the 800 million ounces in London, of which 500 million already belong to the ETFs. So that leaves 300 million. How much of that is owned by others or COMEX? The registered category, how much of the registered category it could be delivered, but my clients who hold it in registered category, we have 9 Brinks locations, of which one is New York City, which is a COMEX depository. I have people with 2 million ounces in their personal account and 1,000-ounce bars in that vault. Well, that's in the eligible category. It doesn't mean they're selling it. Registered means that they're for sale. So the silver that they're saying are in the vaults is not for sale. And maybe at any level, or maybe a much higher level. But why even report about it if it's such an inconsequential market? Silver is much more important than we are led on to believe, and it's massively needed in things like military, which seems to be the people pulling the strings. So, I mean, again, this is why you're seeing these countries use the Western price to stand for delivery. This is why you see China, which is the number 1 or 2 largest producer in the world. They're listed as the number 2. Wouldn't surprise me if they're number 1. They don't tell us how much they mine. But this is why they're going around the world buying unrefined silver in doré and concentrate, paying double what the West will and shipping it home. It's a whole hell of a lot more important than we're led on to believe. It's strategic. It's not industrial. And the sooner people understand that, it makes sense why you have 8 Western banks, all of them West, suppressing the price of silver to the largest degree of any commodity ever traded, ever, on COMEX. Why? Because it's needed. And if silver were to reflect its real price, you couldn't wage the wars that they want to fund and want to finance and want to create weapons to use for both sides. It's enriching them, and this is their meal ticket. Well, if silver was what it should be, and everyone was accumulating it to that degree, wouldn't be as easily said. Would be much more easily said than done. I'll put it to that way. unfortunately, these people, in my estimation, of course, there's no, I mean, in my opinion, there's enough proof to say it, but you know, to profit using suffering, human suffering to that degree, and the threat of it is disgusting. But it is what it is, and we can't change it. But we can take advantage of it and understand what it is, and do the best you can for your family. You know, be sympathetic to it, to the reality of it, but understand that it's a distortion created through manipulation, and those distortions always end badly. You cannot continue to suppress a market or manipulate a market by holding it against the primary trend. Primary trend will overwhelm it, and this is what we're slowly beginning to see. And that's, you know, these countries understand this is the way to win the war, by using this against us rather than getting into a hot war. And when you need silver for so many things, moving forward, it really puts us at a disadvantage globally once the dust settles. I do believe that it will reach levels that we've all expected it to. It's reaching a point right now where the world is recognizing what the West is doing. And when you see 8.1% of the silver delivered off of the LBMA in the month of August, it's getting to the point where it's becoming harder and harder to hold it back. You got these banks trapped. They're completely and totally trapped. And I think they understand that. And they're doing all they can to continue to short the price. But look, every $1 increase in the price of silver is a $4 to $6 billion loss on these banks' balance sheets. But if you continue to stand for delivery, as these countries are doing, ultimately it leads to a point of either you have to come up with the silver or you default, and a default blows up the system immediately. And so, yes, I think price discovery will then move to the east, to the countries who understand what it truly is worth. Ultimately, price will accentuate itself just the way that gold has. And silver and gold have a 90% correlation throughout all of history. Usually gold leads the way. It has this time. But if you look at, I mean, silver over the course of this year, if I'm not mistaken, let's look and see real quick. It's doing a whole lot better. Hang on one second. It might be leading the entire precious metals complex. It's up 32.95% since the beginning of the year, right? So, I mean, is that a bust? Is that bad? It's up 32%, and yet people still are, you know, upset about it. I get it. It should be a whole hell of a lot higher, but that isn't so bad since the beginning of the year. And, you know, I mean, you go back to the beginning of the century. What was silver year 2000? Probably about $7 or something. It was $4.95 an ounce. Well, in 25 years, it's gone up what, 8 or 9 fold. That's on pace with the S&P 500. That is way better than the 10-year Treasury. Yeah, it's not cryptocurrency, but this is in a suppressed market. Let go of the suppression and watch what happens. So it's holding its own. You know, someone in there said it was a bust since late 2021. Well, go back and see what silver was in March of 2020. What was silver in March of 2020? What is it? It was 1174. Okay, so it's up 300%. So, I mean, how bad has it been? Yeah, it should be a whole hell of a lot higher, and I think that's part of the realization that these banks know that, you know, they can't really keep it down. They can do the best they can to mitigate it, but the more they make it short, the more dangerous it becomes, and the more probable and likely that we see a blow off. So, you know, again, this is the counterintuitive part. This is the frustrating part. This is the part where emotion takes over, and that's why there's an entire school of investment ideology that's wave theory. It's all about human emotion. Screw it, I'm out, pissed off, dump it. Great, we'll take it. And at some point, the emotions move to the other side. And I just think that it will exceed people's expectations, but maybe not when or how. Maybe it will. But the counterintuitive nature of this market, it hurts a lot of people's psyche. I get that. It's difficult. I've been at it for 35 years, so I can deal with it a little bit better than most because I've seen it so much. But if you take a step back and look at a chart, You put that chart on the wall and get real close to it, it's like ding, 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 drive you crazy. You take a step back to the end of the room and look at it, and it's slowly sloping upwards at a 45-degree angle. Have a proper perspective.
In conclusion, Andy Schectman's analysis makes one thing clear. Silver is more than just a commodity. It's a strategic resource being manipulated by powerful forces. The stakes are high, and as silver's true value comes to light, the impact on the global economy could be immense. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay informed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more valuable content on the global economy and precious metals. Stay informed, stay prepared, and we'll see you in the next video.